Freen and Becky. Moments that turned into memories. Introduction. Some moments don't pass, they stay. Not every moment announces its importance. Some arrive quietly, unnoticed in real time, only to become unforgettable later. They settle into memory not because they were dramatic, but because they were real. That is how many of the moments between Freen Sorocha and Becky Armstrong exist. They didn't begin as milestones. They began as seconds, glances, pauses, shared laughter, that slowly transformed into something permanent. What makes their connection resonate so deeply is not one defining scene, but a collection of small moments that refuse to disappear. Before the cameras knew what they were capturing, long before fans gave names to their dynamic, before edits and compilations existed, there were ordinary days. Early call times, quiet rehearsals, shared waiting rooms, moments where nothing special was supposed to happen, and yet something did. Becky listening while Freen spoke without interruption. Freen noticing when Becky grew tired before she said anything. The ease that formed without explanation. These moments weren't designed to be remembered. But memory has a way of choosing what matters. The first comfortable silence. One of the earliest shifts in any relationship is the moment silence stops feeling awkward. For Freen and Becky, that silence arrived early. There were stretches where neither spoke, sitting close, scrolling phones, watching the room move around them. No pressure to fill the space. No need to perform connection. That silence became a foundation. Because when two people can sit together without speaking and feel understood, that moment never really fades. Laughter that arrived without warning. Some laughter is polite. Some is controlled. But there were moments between Freen and Becky where laughter escaped before either could stop it. Sudden, unfiltered, shared. Often it came from something small. A mispronounced word. An inside joke no one else caught. A glance that said more than the situation allowed. Those moments mattered because they weren't meant for anyone else. They became memories precisely because they were unplanned. When protection became instinct, there were moments, subtle but unmistakable, where Freen instinctively positioned herself closer to Becky in crowded spaces. Not dramatic, not possessive, just awareness, a hand guiding without touching, a body angled slightly inward, an unspoken acknowledgement of comfort. Those moments passed quickly, but they stayed, because instinct reveals what intention does not. The looks that lasted longer than they should have. There were glances that lingered just a second too long. Not enough to be obvious. Enough to be remembered. Moments where time slowed briefly. Where eye contact held without urgency, without explanation. Where neither rushed to look away. Those looks became memories because they carried weight without declaration. They asked nothing. They promised nothing. Yet they stayed. When one person noticed before the other did. There were days when Becky noticed Freen's exhaustion before Freen admitted it. Moments when Freen softened her tone because Becky looked overwhelmed. Those moments weren't acknowledged aloud. They didn't need to be. Care expressed without recognition often leaves the deepest imprint. OFF camera moments that refused to stay OFF camera. Sometimes the cameras caught what wasn't meant for them. A shared smile before a question. Quiet check-in after an answer. A breath released when the other was nearby. These weren't scenes. They were reflexes. And reflexes come from familiarity. Those seconds became memories because they revealed something unscripted. Something that existed whether anyone was watching or not. The way time seemed to move differently around them. In group settings, moments with Freen and Becky often felt slower. Not because they demanded attention, but because they weren't rushing through it. They listened fully. They responded thoughtfully. They stayed present. That kind of presence lingers in memory because it contrasts so sharply with the world's pace. When distance made the moments louder. Even in moments apart, interviews done separately, schedules that didn't align, their connection echoed. References made without prompting. Smiles triggered by names alone. Energy shifts when reunited. Distance didn't dilute their moments. Clarified them. Memory often grows stronger in absence. Why these moments became memories? Because they were never about being seen. They were about being felt. Moments become memories when they carry emotion without demand, when they change how someone feels without announcing themselves. Freen and Becky didn't create moments for memory. Memory chose them anyway. The accumulation that changed everything. No single moment explains their bond. It is the accumulation that matters. One glance added to another. One quiet support stacked on the last. One shared laugh layered over silence. Eventually, moments stop being moments. They become history. What fans sense, even if they can't explain it. Fans don't connect to Freen and Becky because of spectacle. They connect because they recognize something familiar. Moments that feel like their own memories. Kind you replay. The kind you can't date. The kind that changed how you felt without changing the world. Ending. When moments refuse to fade. Some moments disappear the second they pass. Others stay, reshaping how we remember time itself. For Freen and Becky, the moments that turned into memories weren't loud or dramatic. They were human. They were quiet. They were real. And that is why they remain. Not as highlights, not as proof, but as something far more lasting. A shared past that continues to live in the present.